Well, a great and glorious May 23, 2024. I am Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is your status chat. We're going to have a fairly quick one today. That's the good news. The bad news is I complain about something real quick when we get started. Let's get to it right after this. Be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when each Friday's blog has been uploaded. Thank you. All right, well, I have some good news right before we get into the jobless claims and the mortgage rates and what they're going to do a little bit. It's going to be a short one today. Just want to say, look at this right here. I think I told you last week, the week before, YouTube decided they were going to slap me with another copyright type thing. In this case, it was spam. The websites, 2 links in there, and I think they were both MSNBC. They contain links to websites containing spam. I'm just showing you guys where I get the articles from for the most part, putting them on the YouTube description on the YouTube page for the episode in which those things come so that you can go look them up at your leisure, because a lot of time we kind of gloss through them because we need more, we're looking for more commentary and less of the story. But I don't want to hide the story from you. So they have graciously allowed me to not be slapped with another strike of some sort. They struck this particular channel once, and if you can believe this, they denied the response, whatever it was. Somebody threw a WMG, it's not Warner Music Group, but people think it is. They slapped on a Nightingale thing. One day we had someone out in the bush in front of the house, and she would not hush up, or he would not hush up, and it was 2 hours of solid Nightingale singing. I took that off the Eufy camera, and I put that just the constant chirping and carrying on, because it really was amazing. If you couldn't sleep to kind of listen to it, there were patterns that they would go multiple times, one voice, one song, and then switch over to another song and another song. And if you just literally were bored and like to hear birds talk, I just put a background on it. And this bogus WGM claimed copyright on an actual Nightingale recorded off a security camera, and so this channel has a strike on it already. So I'm getting a little tired of the constant harassment that I get. The music that I use, I bought the string, the MIDI string that we closed this with. That was paid for years ago, I think in 2019 or something like that. Every week it comes up as a copyright strike. After having been there for years and years and years, the producer of that, who sold lifetime rights for all commercial work and all that kind of stuff, he sold it, but then he's jumped into which is ASCAP, I guess it is, out of Nashville, and just listed it as an ASCAP recording. And now every week I get this copyright thing and I have to release it, and he has to deal with it, and I can't figure out how to make that go away. So enough for the pain and suffering of YouTube, how they treat their folks. Let's go ahead and look right here on our center panel. This one, I've reformatted this, by the way. I've got this set up. This is from Morningstar, as it says right here somewhere. Morningstar, right? Dateline to date, May 23rd, 2024, 7:35 a.m., just about 2 hours ago, maybe 3. Jobless claims fall again to 215,000. Strong labor market fuels U.S. economy. Now let's go ahead and give the credit where credit's due, and you will find this link over on the YouTube page where this exists in the description, as always, unless I forget to put it there, so you can read the full thing if you want. This is by Jeffrey Bartash, provided by Dow Jones Market Watch, and layoffs in the U.S. remain near record low. Sure seems like they're accelerating, but they say it's not. Story developing. Stay tuned for updates here. The numbers of Americans who applied for unemployment benefits last week fell again to 215,000, indicating once again that layoffs are low and that the economy is being buoyed by a strong labor market. It feels very election-year-y type of post to me, if you really want to know the truth, including the numbers. Now, let's get back over here just shortly. Don't know that that's what's going on, but what I want to point out to you is what everybody's been watching for the last 2 years. Mortgage rates. What are mortgage rates going to do? What are credit card rates going to do? What are the charge-offs going to do? What are the defaults in that, and the delinquencies with mortgages and credit and car loans and all that kind of stuff? Because a lot of this is tied to the interest rates, maybe not variable, but it's tied to it, like when you bought the new car or the used car, that type of thing. So what is it likely to happen from what we learned from economics? The government spends a lot of money that they don't have. It waters down our buying power, which results in inflation. And the response to try to get that inflation down is to cool off the economy by hurting demand. If we make it too expensive to buy stuff, then demand falls down. We find a new equilibrium point and sales drop down, and there we go. So the Fed raises the cost of money to slow down the economy. What does it just say here? Layoffs are low and the economy is strong. I'm all for a strong economy, but I don't know how much more the watering down of our purchasing power we can do. Maybe you're flush with money, but most of us have to work for a living, and it hurts us a little bit. But when I see this headline, 215,000, I think they have the number, and all it says is it hit right in the middle where they were guessing for. Oh, yeah, here it is. Initial jobless claims have hovered between 194 and 232 this year, a remarkably low level last achieved consistently in the 1960s. So there you go, people. The economy is great, and we have low layoffs. I don't know, but we're going to talk about the mortgage rates, right? So what am I seeing and hearing? That the economy is strong, which means we can't count on a crash in the labor market to panic the Fed to go into quantitative easing, which means that they're going to start printing the money again to spur the economy on to get people working again. What we still stuck in is high inflation. And the response to high inflation is, you guessed it, keeping the cost of money high, which translates into higher mortgages, higher credit card, higher car loans, higher everything. Now let's look back here at this other page I have set it for you. This is the Mortgage News Daily rates. I slide this up at the top so we can give them credit for it. Mortgage News Daily. I got it a little bit trimmed off right here. Today's mortgage rates, mortgage rate watch. We're going to slide this on down where I just had it, because we want to see what things are doing today. And this is the Mortgage News Daily rate right here. Freddie Mac, MBA Mortgage Bankers Association, and we'll see what it is today. We've been going up pretty well much all week. I think 30-year fixed is now up to 717 on the survey. Let's go to Freddie Mac, which is weekly. It's at 694, which is below, of course, what the mortgage bankers and Mortgage News Daily. So the government is holding the rate a little bit lower than what the market is bringing, which that can't be good. 7.08%. So what we're looking at is a 7% 30-year fixed mortgage rate, low jobless claims. So the layoffs aren't there. So what are we likely going to do? We're going to keep the interest high, the target rate high, because it's paying off the debt. Because with inflation being high, it means that the United States pays off its debt with watered down dollars, which makes it cheaper to pay the debt off. Now, it may make it hard for you to buy a house or invest in a business or get a new car, but it appears to me that the government is really liking the high rates on the market. And it's just going to then bring up everything that depends off of or feeds off of the rates, on the 10-year rates and the short-term rates, the overnight rates as they would call them. It is what it is, and it looks like it's going to continue for a while. So you know what you got to do? You got to call Dell to sell. You got to hit the website. You got to get with me. We'll see if we can't get you into a house or list the house that you've got. Appreciate you. Let's hit that last little segment. Hello, I'm Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel. Call Dell to sell. That's 1 L and Dell, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout, and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. All right, last week, 5/17 to 24, we had 20,295 in the opportunities. That went up over the previous period. They have been going up over the last month or so. We saw 44.98 in the under contracts still showing. That went down over the previous period, but not by a whole lot. And we had an integer ratio of 22% last week, dropped down 1 integer percent on the rounding. This week, 523.24, we have 20,239 in the opportunities. That's down just a little bit, not a lot, less than 100. We have 45.64 in the under contract still showing. That went up just a little bit. And the integer ratio between what's being offered and what's still being offered but holding on to, that went up to 23. So we reversed the 22 we dropped into last week. We're just kind of bouncing around there. All right, so give me a call, email me, text me. You know how to find me. Best of luck on the weekend, that everything goes well, that you get your grass mowed and everything's turning up good for you. Thank you.